Wait a minute. Can y'all hoop? Do y'all got game?
Hey, don't let the
You got a shot?
Don't let the muscles fool you.
Ooh, I like it.
You know?
I hit a few threes in my day.
Hit a few threes? Okay.
Very few, but I hit a few.
My game was like Barkley, though.
Ooh, you was throwing some bows.
Yeah.
I was more like the Dream. I used to.
The moves, the shake 'em and bake 'em.
They didn't go in all the time. The footwork looked damn good, though.
You got the footwork. Y'all got footwork in football, so I can imagine y'all, you know what I'm saying, doing a little something with that.
Little something.
Behind the mask.
What's happening, my boy?
What's good, family? Another day in paradise. You know what it is.
Already, man. And listen, we are amongst like a prestigious guest. The vibes, the aura, it all permeates throughout this entire lounge, right?
That's facts.
Big facts. So without further ado, let's get right to it. She's a two-time Olympian. Gold, by the way. Former first selection overall to our Atlanta Dream. And also a philanthropist, recording artist, and CEO of her own all-female sports and entertainment management company called Legend C.
Man, this is greatness right now.
Greatness right now.
Greatness in the
Welcome to the lounge.
Hey.
The all-time great from the state of Maryland. And like her song says, they call her the GOAT, the legend, Angel McCoughtry.
Hey, that was a dope drop right there. I got a chicka.
So that means you just, you package us up, take us on the road with you.
Hey, I got to.
And we introduce
we got to do some shows or something.
No doubt, no doubt. We're going to make the introduction. You come out and, you know what I'm saying, drop the bars on it.
You killed that.
Yeah, we appreciate that. I give credit to the writer.
Oh, yeah.
But now, obviously, you're all of that when it comes to, in several fields, but we're going to start in the athletic field.
Oh, yeah.
And so I want to go back to your humble beginnings, early stages. Like, what drew you to the game, to the love of basketball?
You know what? Growing up, I'm from Baltimore, and I started playing basketball at 8. Someone on my mom's job said, hey, your daughter's tall for her age. Maybe you should get her into basketball. And I'm like, my mom was like, well, where do I do that at? She said, just try your local rec. So I went and tried it out, and I just fell in love with the game. It was just something that came natural. And obviously, playing in Baltimore, there's just not a group of girls out there playing. There's just all boys. But that's the game I love to play, right?
Yeah.
But then what happens? You get called a tomboy and these kind of things. No, girls play sports. Get over it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But I would say that that's how I got my toughness, playing with the boys outside growing up. That's where my toughness came from.
Go ahead.
And your father, he went to Coppin State, right?
And he played at Coppin State. He played there for 3 years until his junior year. And honestly, that's where I get my talent from. But it's crazy that someone on my mom's job was like, put her into basketball. But my dad wound up having the talent. And my parents are awesome. They're still together to this day. And
dope.
So definitely came from an awesome family.
Yeah.
I think that's so dope. And you're being humble right now. Because you were nice in high school. Yeah, you didn't get into it. Those same boys, you destroyed a lot of those boys playing against them in high school.
Yeah, it's funny. I was at the Y the other day, because sometimes I go up there just to shoot around, clear my head. And there was this guy, he was 6'8", he was dunking and doing all this crazy stuff. So I told one of my friends, I said, I'm going to beat him one-on-one. He's like, no, he's dunking, he's athletic. He's like, you're a girl. I said, watch. I said, hey, you want to play me one-on-one? He's like, yeah, let's play. So we check up, and boom, boom, he's like, and then I'm like, all right, you ready? I said, you want to play me now? Get on me a little bit? So I up fake him the second time. He jumped in there, I go for a layup, and I beat him. He only scored 1 point.
Out of what?
We went to 11.
Dang.
1 out of 10.
Dunking and 6'8". And so I called the other guy.
Expose this guy so we can talk about it.
because you could see the game. So I told the other boy, I said, you thought I didn't beat him, why didn't you? And the guy was like, I didn't think you would beat me. I didn't think you were that good. I said, why didn't you think I was that good? He said, because you're a girl. And I said,
You still on that?
we still, I constantly have to preach, it's not about gender. If somebody can hoop, they can hoop. It's not about your height. I tell kids all the time, it's not about how tall you are. They're thinking, I'm not tall enough. It's about the skill. And if you have the game, and a lot of the kids, you gotta have the IQ, you know. So that guy, he was like, man, I need to work with you. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I have this saying when I play all these guys one-on-one. Everybody said they want to go to NBA. They all say it. That's okay. Get past me first. Let's see if you can beat me. If you can't beat me, how you gonna play against LeBron? So it kind of it's just to show them that, bring them to reality, because they all think that they're that good. And I'm kind of just showing them that you have work to do. That's all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A lot of their work.
A lot.
That sound like I'll be whooping up on him if you try to play some ball.
This cat, man.
Anyway,
Hey, wait a minute. Can y'all hoop? Do y'all got game?
Hey, don't let
You got a shot?
Don't let the muscles fool you.
Ooh, I like it.
You know?
I hit a few
Alright.
threes in my
Hit
day.
a few threes? Okay.
Very few, but I hit a few.
My game was like Barkley, though.
Ooh, you
Under
been
the rim.
throwing some bows.
Yeah.
I was more like the dream. I used to.
Look, the moves, the shake 'em and bake 'em.
They didn't go in all the time. The footwork looked damn good though.
You got the footwork. Football, y'all got footwork in football, so
Yeah,
I can
you gotta
imagine
have
y'all,
it.
you know what I'm saying, doing a little something with that.
Lewis. But nah, but yeah, you did your thing. Obviously in high school, you still are doing your thing. But back to Louisville, you went on to college to Louisville, led the Big East in scoring, rebounding, and steals. Total domination. Total domination. So much so that Louisville went on to retire your jersey, the first woman athlete, basketball athlete to get her jersey retired. So talk about that experience.
When I first got there, they had never been past the first round of the NCAA tournament. They had never been ranked. I remember going to a men's game, Rick Pitino, and seeing all these fans. And I'm saying to myself, I'm a rookie. I'm a what you call a freshman. And I was so excited to play the next day. I said, I can't wait. This atmosphere. The next day we have a game. There's nobody in the stands. 18,000 seat arena. So I asked one of the upperclassmen. I said, "Where's everybody?" She said, "This is it." I come from Baltimore. Like, people come to our games. You know what I'm saying? Our high school games were filled up. I wasn't used to that. And I'm like, what did I get myself into? But something dawned on me that day. As a freshman, I said, you know what? This is going to change. I remember saying that. And literally the next year, we became ranked. And then we made it to the Sweet 16. Each year just got better and better. We still hold now to this day the record, attendance record. Us playing UConn, we had 18,000 people. And now the girls, they're ranked every year. They're in the top. You talking about going from never being past the first round to now, the rest is history. So to be a part of the beginning, to see where they are now, and to help start that's amazing.
I think that's cool because you started that trend and now they're still continuing to live it up. And as time goes on, you were the first pick for the Atlanta Dream. Like, take us back through that moment because, you know, we've been through it on the football side.
Man.
Not the first pick.
First overall.
You know, first overall, but like, you know.
Right.
Like, take us through it, though.
Now, y'all know that feeling, like you sitting there, you about to get drafted and, you know, the anxiety that you have and where am I going to end up and, you know, but it's an exciting at the same time. But I remember all year when I was at Louisville, my senior year, I kept saying, I want to get to Atlanta. Because we all knew that they had the #1 pick. I kept saying to myself, I kind of like manifested it in a sense and visualized, I'm going to Atlanta, I'm going to Atlanta. And I remember being at the draft, Atlanta had the first pick. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I hope I get this pick. So you have all the commentators, they're talking about all the other girls. They're talking about Renee Montgomery, Marissa Coleman, all these, they never mentioned my name. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, how they not gonna mention me to be #1 to Atlanta? So they're on the clock and they got up there and they said, #1 pick for Atlanta is Angel McCoughtry. And I was like, it kind of like flashes everything you've gone through in your career. All the blood, sweat, and tears. It was like, this is the moment where it's worth it.
Yep. And, like, I remember that actually, you know, just being a Georgia native.
Oh, wow.
But I want to read off some of your accolades that you've accomplished, you know, throughout your career. And you're not finished yet either. Rookie of the Year, 5-time All-Star, 6-time All-WNBA team, 8-time All-WNBA defensive team. That's what you did to the guy who thought you couldn't play. You locked him up. You also led the Atlanta Dream to 3 WNBA finals and also the Las Vegas Aces to 1 final.
Yes, yes.
I got one question for
Yeah.
you. Is this the reason why they call you the GOAT?
I would say one of the reasons. I think being able to accomplish a lot, such as the GOATs we see, like Diana Taurasi, Candace Parker, to be on that level, to accomplish what they've accomplished, to be a gold medalist, to be a WNBA 25 all time. That goes to show you that, okay, I'm up there with the GOATs. You know, obviously, so, you know, you struggle with injury throughout your career and different things like that, but it's all about you continue to bring it back. And you look back, you start to, as you get older, you know, you start to look back like, wow, you know, look at what I accomplished. You don't realize it when you're young and when you're playing.
Right.
Y'all know how it is.
Yeah.
But to see, as you get older, what you've accomplished. And I remember this last season I didn't play, still recovering from my ACL, but I kept seeing my name pop up during the playoffs. And it was like Asia Wilson breaks Angel McCoughtry's record for all-time points in the playoffs. Breonna Stewart breaks Angel McCoughtry's record for this. And I'm like, wow. I said, I'm not playing, but somehow still relevant. My name is still popping up. That goes to show you that you work hard, you put you put your all into it, and it will pay you back. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not playing, but my name's just boom, boom, boom. So that just goes to show you the inspiration behind giving it your all. You know what I'm saying?
You talked about looking in the rafters and seeing jerseys up there. So now, in this generation, people are playing at Louisville looking at you. But who are some of the people in the WNBA that you looked at when you got into the league?
Oh, yeah. There was a lot. I liked Ruthie Bolton. She was good. She's a player that I felt was kind of underrated. You know, during that time, those players didn't have social media and stuff we have now, so they kind of missed that. Obviously, we all know Dawn Staley. She's killing the game right now. We all know Lisa Leslie. And Cheryl Swoops was big for me. People had said my game, I mimicked my game after her. They said my game was like hers, like Cheryl Swoops. That's what I always heard.
Yeah, Cheryl was tough. I remember when we were in college when the WNBA first started around that time.
Really?
Yeah. Showing our age. But Cheryl Swoops, Cynthia Cooper back then.
Cooper.
Yeah, there was some grace back then too, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Lobo, yeah.
That's damn near all the originals from that dream team from the Olympics when they went.
Teresa Witherspoon. I mean, the list goes on.
And then going into the WNBA, looking at these greats, now you're sharing the court. What was that welcome to the WNBA moment? Woo! Like, yo, you here now, this is the pros.
Oh, yeah. I got two. First one was against Tisha Pinachero. So I get switched off on her, and she's a point guard, so I'm a little taller than her. So I'm like, oh, I'm posting. I'm like, mismatch. She pulls a chair, and I fall to the ground. And she's like, it ain't no mismatch. Yeah. So, yeah, and then the second one was somehow I got down low on Lisa Leslie, so I'm guarding her, and she just goes, boom. I got the elbow to the chest, and I fall back, and she makes a layup. And I was like, oh my God, Lisa Leslie elbowed me in my chest. I had to play it up, but I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So I only got to play with Lisa my rookie year. After my rookie year, she retired, but I got that elbow. Woo, I'll never forget that. That was a mean elbow.
I know. I remember every welcome moment I had.
Woo! Who was your welcome moment?
My welcome moment was, I remember. That's a good question. Because nobody never asked me that, though. My welcome moment, I remember, I got to training camp late because I was holding out for a few days for them extra dollars.
Extra bread.
They still didn't give it to me. Shout out to Mike Brown for being stingy. But my moment came, I just kind of felt like when I walked on the field, I'm like, all right, you know, they know I was holding out, so offensively, I could tell the tension was like, we finna see who this mother sucker think he is, though.
He is, right?
So, bro, they ran a play, and the center came and, you know, backside block on me. And so I'm thinking in college, it's usually like, all right, I can just hold him out. Man, but it was like, I just felt something gnawing on my head. And I'm like, man, this dude here trying to hurt me. So we get in a fight the first day at practice. First day at practice. And I was like, they may not really even like me now, but I don't even give a damn. I'm going to give it to them. But that was the first moment I realized, it's like, man, if you don't come out here and do what you're supposed to do, they don't send you home. Ain't nobody going to feel sorry for you.
Welcome to the NFL.
Oh,
yeah.
What about you? I know you got one.
Oh, mine was in, I think I told Takeo this. Mine was actually in the preseason. So the rookies in the preseason, I was a 5th-round pick. So the rookies in the preseason, that third game, you really don't play. Like the vets play. right? So I come in, Wally Williams on maybe the second drive of the season, he decides to come off the field. So I'm like, damn, I wasn't expecting to get into like the fourth quarter against the Scrubs. But we playing against the Vikings.
Woo!
John Randall, defensive tackle, all-pro, Hall of Famer. So I'm out there on third. He comes out on second down. It's third down. I'm like, damn. Third down and John Randall, and we in the passing situation?
And he's fresh, too.
Ooh.
Man, so he coming out there. So I get ready to punch him. And when I tell you I sat like this, he was probably all the way over there where you are, close to the quarterback.
Right.
But then he was about to come off the field, so he just kept jogging off the field, laughing at me. I had you. I'm like, I'm so glad he didn't sack the quarterback. This is the preseason. You can't give up sacks in the preseason.
Right.
But he showed me like, yo, you got a long way to go.
He was like, like,
He was
hey.
like, I'm over here. He's literally gone, bro.
Woo.
And you still sitting
I'm
up
sitting
there
there like
blocking.
this. Like, way over there. So that just let me know I wasn't ready yet. Just to be honest, like straight up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happened to us all, though.
And those are experiences that make us. You know what I'm saying? That make you great.
Big facts.
Yeah.
Shit, I was ready after that. I mean, it took me a little while, but I was like, I can't be. If I'm going against a Hall of Fame off the rip, gotta get better.
Already.
But moving on in your career, and now you're the first WNBA player to be honored with your own basketball courts.
Yes.
An Adidas Court in Louisville, and then the Honey Stinger Court here in Atlanta.
Yes.
Has to be amazing.
Man, let me tell you. So I was always seeing NBA players do it, left and right. They do it all the time. Carmelo has a court, Puerto Rico, this person has a court. I'm like, and I'm doing my research, and I'm like, ain't no woman courts out here. I ain't see one. So I hit up Adidas. I said, you know what? I'm going to shoot my shot. The worst they can say is no.
Yep.
And I call, get on the phone with them. I say, hey, y'all, y'all do a lot of courts with, I see y'all do a lot of stuff with D-Rose, this person. I said, I would love to have a court. I said, I think Louisville's the place because they're an Adidas school, and I went there and had a great career. I said, we'd love to do a court with y'all there. They said, let's get back to you on that. I said, man. I was like.
Took my shot.
I took my shot. I get a call maybe like the next day. They said, hey, we're going to do it. I said, what? We're going to do it. I'm going to have my own basketball court. They said, we're going to do it. So I said, I want to be a part of the creative process, design process, everything. They said, no problem. I said, it has to be a woman's image.
Yes.
I said, because it's not seen. We always see, male images. That's what we're used to, and of course, and that's going to continue. But to see a female image and an African-American image, that's what needs to be on the court. Yeah. And I said, I sent them my Olympic picture, and I had my hands in the air, and it's just so much emotion in that picture. I said, please use this image on the court, and if you see that court in Louisville, it is powerful.
Yeah,
oh,
it's
man.
iconic.
It's so iconic. Yeah. It's so iconic. And obviously, Honey Stinger, I got to use that example to say, Honey Stinger, look what I'm doing over here. Can I get a court in Atlanta? Let's do one in Atlanta. And they like, we love this. They said, absolutely. So now I want to do one more in Baltimore, where I'm from, and then I feel like kind of complete with it.
That's so amazing. And then you have the young women also that get to come on the court, and they get to see a woman's image.
A woman's
and they're
image.
like, I can do this too.
Exactly. And that was the whole point of it. And then for young men that's playing on the court, because they're looking like, wow, they're like, this is crazy. Now they can start to respect women's sports. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what it's all about. Yeah.
It's a visible. When I saw the court, learned a lot about. I thought I knew a lot about you. I was a fan, but really got engulfed and indulged in everything that you was doing. And I definitely think it was great. And going back to the imagery on the court up in Louisville.
Yes.
Like strong, like very strong. And one thing that I noticed was you and I both have this one passion that we keep so close to our heart, and that's social justice.
Yes.
I want to dig into that with you and just really talk about, what brought you to the social justice moment, because I know for me, I never felt like, all right, I'm coming in the league and I'm signing up to be to lead the charge in the social justice area. But
right.
Can you share your story and your experience?
Yeah, I don't think none of us thought that we would, play our sport and to be fighting social justice. But I think that we had seen enough. I think that we had all gotten tired of so many years of mistreatment. And when we decided to bring Breonna Taylor's name on the back of the jersey, Actually, we did it first, and then the
NBA
NBA followed.
Yep.
People don't know that, and said, we're going to put phrases on the back of the jersey. So the women, we led the charge with a lot of that stuff. And I remember during that time, people were saying, we shouldn't play. We need to forfeit games. I said, but wait a minute. I said, you always played this game. Social injustice didn't just happen. I said, you play the game and use the platform. And that's what we did. We that was a time that I felt so close. The WNBA, we all just came together. We all were holding hands, and there was power. And that was when we showed that women, we can stand together and have so much power. Yeah. It's power in numbers. Right. And that's one of the things I learned with that. And of course, I heard things like, well, it keeps happening. What is this going to do? It keeps happening. I said, you know what? You plant a seed, a mustard seed. Mm-hmm. You see how small a mustard seed is, a mustard seed of faith, and you watch it grow. You watch everything grow. Maybe it might take a few years, but guess what? It will happen. Every little bit counts. And as you see, those cops, they got in trouble. Yeah.
Yep.
From us speaking out and fighting. I remember having a conversation with Breonna Taylor's mom. I said, what was it like in the beginning? She said it was very quiet and very hard because nobody knew. And if we didn't do what we had done and everybody speaking out, this would have been another thing swept under the rug. So it did count.
Were you ever afraid of the possible backlash that you could get? Just even going through that process and just thinking you got a decision to make.
No, because we get backlash every day from being female basketball players. We get so much backlash just for that. Stay in the kitchen, you suck, you this, you that, you'll never be, we get that all the time. So it was nothing that I ever even considered.
I want to go back because being drafted the #1 pick overall here in Atlanta, and then you leave and play for other teams.
Yeah.
Would you ever, at the end of the day, when you look at it now, fast forward X amount of years later, where is home for you now? Atlanta, right?
Home is Atlanta. Yeah, home is Atlanta.
What makes Atlanta this special place for you to where you the A is my home and this is where I'm loved and this is where I got to get it?
Oh, yeah. You know what? I read an article the other day. Atlanta is ranked the #1 creative city right now. #1 city for creatives. We can all see it. Yep. It's all around us.
Even here.
Even here. Right now, I'm on behind the mask. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I really do feel like Martin Luther King left something here for us to succeed, as you can see. People call the city the Black Mecca. And I think that's for a reason because, once again, his seeds were planted, that now we are thriving off his seeds. So Atlanta's a special place. All you hear about on the news is Atlanta this. Who's the most famous mayors in America? Atlanta mayors than any other city. You have some, maybe Chicago or New York, but Atlanta is up there. Everybody knows the Atlanta governor, the Atlanta mayors, everything Atlanta is doing. Oh, Atlanta, that's all you hear. Film, television, Atlanta.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the place.
Definitely is. And you could have, like Takeo said, stayed anywhere else, any other city that you play for. As a whole, when you look at the different WNBA cities, the teams, do you think the WNBA is getting the respect it just deserves?
I would say from getting drafted in 2009 to now, big difference. There was a time where it was hard for us to get any sponsorship money. It was hard for us to get endorsements. It was tough. When I first got here, I was reaching out and, oh, no, thank you. I was getting a lot of no thank yous. But now, this is the time of the woman. People are paying attention to us, they're investing in us, and it works. Think about it like this. We are where we are without getting any of the attention that our male counterparts get. We still don't have the same airtime or the same kind of, our commercials aren't, usually our commercials just show during a WNBA game that people half know about that's on, right? Mm-hmm. So, and still look at where we're at. Imagine if you promote us the same way you promote them, it will work. Mm-hmm. People want to watch who they know. When I go out and meet people, they want to come to a game because now they know who they're coming to watch.
Right.
You're not going to go to an NBA game if you don't know who you're watching. Promote the women, it will work. So we are where we are right now without even the same, you know what I'm saying?
Hell high on that same platform as
at all.
the men are.
So to be there, to still have popular women and not be on that same platform as far as marketing. So if we did, what does that tell you? It will work.
It goes back to, I think it was right before the pandemic. Y'all had a new CBA, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And they revised a lot of things to, I wouldn't say it was up to par. Well, definitely it wasn't up to par before then.
For sure.
But they made some enhancements to make it more favorable for you guys to kind of, I would say, stay inside of the states to play.
Yeah, because, we do play, like I had played, before I actually got injured, I played 10 years overseas WNBA, no break. That's tough on your body.
Yeah.
Very tough.
And to try to keep up, and the CBA definitely had needed a lot of work during that time. We still need some more advancements, but one of the main things that I love is that pregnancy. If a woman gets pregnant, she still has, some of those rights and different things. Because before, if a girl got pregnant, it was pretty much
just cut.
Just cut.
It shouldn't even be that.
It shouldn't even be that. Look at Allison Felix's situation.
Right.
She's one of the best in the world. Her pregnancy should be uplifted, not
applauded,
her torn down because she's pregnant,
right.
or should be dropped from a shoe company or anything. That shouldn't exist. So I think with those things have gotten better. We still are fighting for 50% revenue. We don't get that. The NBA, they get to split the revenue cost with the NBA players. We don't have that. So that's one of the big one that we're fighting for now.
I think you got a future in being a commissioner.
Ooh, Lord.
Executive director.
Executive director, right?
Oh, man, we want to see about that.
Slow your roll. But you do some amazing things outside of the game as well. But you're still a student of the game.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking about your new EP, recently released. My favorite track is The GOAT, like I mentioned, you know what I mean? And I actually sent it to my daughter, London, who plays basketball as well.
Yes.
And she likes it as well. So, but you've been getting a lot of attention for your artistic side as well.
Yes.
So tell us and tell the BTM audience, what made you want to get into this space?
You know what? I had been doing music a while ago. I had just started doing it because I was like, this is fun to hear myself. And I was like, to create a sound and see how to create a story when it's finished. I fell in love with that. So I had released my first song years and years ago, maybe in 2011, actually.
Oh, wow.
It was called Baby, I'm a Star. And people were like, oh, you need to stick to basketball, stay focused, stay in your lane. So that's the kind of, and let's be real. Nobody takes the athlete that does music serious. Come on. Let's keep it real.
There's been some trash over there.
No lies in the lounge.
Allen Iverson, trash. Kobe Bryant, rest his soul, trash. It was
Shaq did an album.
Prom, love you, bro. Trash.
What about Shaq album?
Shaq has some hits. Shaq has some
Shaq
hits,
has some
though.
hits.
You had to respect Shaq.
Dame Dollar got some hits.
Dame Dollar, but there's a lot of guys. Chris Webber.
Ooh, he did what?
Listen, the problem is so many came early that did not succeed.
Right.
And so it just made it hard for the next person.
So that stigma, So that stigma follows us too. Like, it's like, you're an athlete. What are you doing? Does it sound good? And I had to show people, like, I want to be taken seriously in this space. So I really want to put out a good product. And then with my product, I'm talking about the sports. I'm singing about being a GOAT. I'm singing about role models. You know what I'm saying? Different things that, young kids can relate to in sports. That's not really out there like that. Or we got our J. Cole's, that kind of give you a little bit of that. But I wanted to show people that I want to be taken serious. So I finally got my first placement. I'm on a 2K video game. My song Legend is going to be in a video game. So it goes to show you just stick with it. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully I can be one of them athletes that people like, go rock with her music,
So, it's a whole lot going through my head right now. But I'm not finna just let you do a drive-by over Legend, the first WNBA player to have their song featured on NBA 2K.
It's coming out in April. Yeah, we just signed the deal this week, actually. So, they love Legend and it's going on there. So that's really cool to be a first WNBA player. Because, just athletes don't do music like that. So it's really cool. It's really, really cool.
Legend is one of my favorites, too.
Yeah.
Now, when I first listened, I was like, I really didn't know what to expect.
Right,
And I'm
right.
being completely honest.
Yeah, right.
I did not know, but I have an open mind. So I said, let me just check it out. I can truly sit here before you because in this lounge, we got this term we've coined, no lies, in the lounge.
Ooh, I like that.
Your shit is fire.
For real?
From top to bottom.
Y'all hear
And
that?
I don't have no gun to my head. Ain't nobody all set over here looking at me, giving me the evil eye. Like, legit. 1000%.
So I can finally say as an athlete, I can get some respect on my name.
Oh, absolutely.
With the music.
Absolutely.
I'm here.
No doubt.
Also, let the BTM audience know where they can find your music at.
Yes, I'm on all platforms, Spotify, iTunes, whatever you use. It's called Student of the Game. Check out my EP. It's definitely a story in there. It's inspirational, and I hope you love it.
Absolutely. Legend is speaking, and we not done.
Yeah.
She has an all-female sports and entertainment management company.
Yes.
Talking about the Legend C agency.
Creative name.
Yeah, it's
Agency.
Legend Agency and one.
Legency.
Legency.
I love it. Talk about
Yes.
that.
You know, now that more women, like we talked before, are getting more endorsements and getting more attention in that space, I said, I want to be able to bridge that gap for young women. Because a lot of young women don't have representation to fight for them to get deals and different things. I know, for me being a star in Atlanta, I didn't have that either, So I wanted to bridge that gap. And even with old-time players that kind of missed that mark, like a Cheryl Swoops, I'm talking to her to bring her in right now because we want to continue to, fight for the older players who can still shoot. She sure swoops,
Yeah.
So we want to bridge that gap and just continue to bring endorsements, hopefully book deals, movie, anything for these young women. So we just want to empower. And we kind of want to show that women can work together in that space. I hear a lot of women say that, they've gotten help. Men had to help them, get those spaces. But we want to show that women can do that too for each other.
I think that's important. You fill in the gap of need because for me, I would say if I'm a younger person who aspires to be or to play in the WNBA and have a successful career outside of the fact that I made it, I would definitely look at you, looking at all of the accolades that you accomplished. But even going back to the blueprint, while doing my research, I saw several players even speak on the fact like she is the blueprint when it comes to being in the WNBA. And if you want to be successful, this is who you aspire to be. How do you feel about that, just knowing people look at you in that manner? I
didn't even know that. But now that I'm hearing that, man, that to me, that's amazing because it wasn't always like that. And the reason I started getting into these spaces is from my first injury. I tore my ACL twice. And, we play basketball, we play football, but you don't, when you, in your prime, you're not thinking what I need to do after the game. You're just thinking, I'm invincible, I'm athletic, can't nobody guard me. And then when I had my first injury, everything stopped. I'm talking about, I'm always busy, doing this, doing that. And then I never thought I could get injured. That's how, it never crossed my mind. I used to see girls get injured, but I never even understood what injury they had.
Wow. And then, you're not the only one who thinks that way, though.
And yes.
We think that way, too.
Yes. And so when everything stopped, I was just like, oh, my God. I'm like, who am I? What is my purpose? And that's when I had to learn that my identity is who I am as the person. I always thought my identity was just basketball. You know what I'm saying? We're more than that.
Absolutely.
And that's when because I had that quiet, an ACL tear, it takes a year to recover. So I had a lot of quiet time, and it was my time to sit down and reflect, like, okay, if I can't play basketball ever again, I have nothing to fall back on. So this first injury helped me to start doing those things, all those things you see now.
Some more things that we see. Atlanta is the tech hub of the South.
Yes.
You also have a tech company.
Yeah, so I just launched a tech company. It just came to me in a dream. It was just like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And I sat on it for a while, and this happened maybe about 4 years ago when it came to me, and I was like, can I do this? So basically, it's called P.S. I'm With You. It's a company where you can leave gifts and messages to your loved ones after you pass away. So if you want to leave flowers for someone, up to how many years after you pass away. So even in advance, what we do is we hold everything for the customer. Obviously, the target audience is firefighters, high-risk jobs, firefighters, policemen, people who are sick. So they can use our platform to say, hey, I want to leave messages to this loved one up to 5 years after I pass away on their birthday. Maybe they just say every birthday up to 5 years after I pass away, or 10 years, however long. They can leave video messages, gifts, everything they want. Imagine if Kobe could still surprise his daughters with this platform. So imagine, like, let's say, he could leave that final message for Vanessa and say, hey, go date. It's okay. You leave all those in advance. So you can even leave in advance, hey, congratulations on graduation. I love you. I know I can't be there, but go have fun. You're leaving all that in advance, kind of preparing. And then, so how we wanted to do it was people could leave it in their will, and then we'll give it to the person. But we realized only 40% of Americans have wills. So that's another thing we got to advocate for. And then in that 40%, Black people in that 40% are like
maybe
not even existent.
6-7% maybe?
Probably lower than that. So it's like now, finding that research is like, man, now we got to advocate for more Black people to have wills and to set themselves up for afterwards. And another thing we want to use in that platform is for people to have like almost like a digital will. To say, hey, I left the house for Tim. I left, the car for Stacy. So they can, because think about how many families get torn apart. They fight. This is mine. This is mine. We want to create healing, and we want to bridge those gaps for families after person. We basically want it to be healing.
You've accomplished a lot. Like, that's dope. Like, great concept.
Absolutely.
It's the simple things that usually hits. And so I look forward to, you don't want to say you look forward to it, but you got to do it, right?
It's just more preparation, yeah. None of us want to talk about or look forward to it, but it's just more so that preparation that, I have things set for my kids if something happens. I can leave them graduation messages, as long how many years after I'm gone, or wedding messages or anything in advance, because we never know, obviously. But at least I prepared my kids, you know what I mean, and say, hey, keep on going. I love you. Don't worry. I want you to have fun. You kind of reassuring them that it's okay, in a sense.
No doubt. So since you've accomplished so much in a, we look at it over the time, it's a short period of time. What are some of the future goals that you have set, whether or not if it's personal or professionally?
Yeah, I think future goals, that's a great question. Nobody has asked me that. But I think to continue to advocate for change in different things. I want to continue to do a lot of community stuff in the city. I've been to Africa. I love doing stuff over there. That is meaningful to me as well. And let's see, maybe I might get into a little coaching when I get a little older, yell at the kids a little bit. So, I watched Dawn, how she did it, and it's just like, wow.
Such an inspiration.
It's such an inspiration, so it makes you think like, man, could I do that? Could I be on that level? Could I challenge it? So, some stuff like that.
The curiosity always gets us, doesn't it?
Yes.
Makes you jump in head first.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Well, obviously, you're sitting here on the Behind the Mask podcast, and we say it all the time. We had our mask for protection during football, but everybody has a mask in their everyday walk, right? You have a representative, you have your guard up, you have something that you're not going to let everybody in. So looking back at your life and your journey, did Angel McCoughtry have a mask? And who is Angel McCoughtry behind the mask?
Wow, that's deep. Did I have a mask? Yeah. I would say, I think I was misunderstood a lot coming up. I think who I am behind the mask is really just a genuine, what you see is what you get kind of person. There's no hidden agendas. There's just an open book type of person. Goofy, fun, and I love an adventure. So I heard y'all be hiking. So I heard y'all made the hike crew.
Yeah,
so
Hike Life ATL.
You know what I mean? Yeah. What's it called?
Hike Life ATL.
Oh, y'all got it.
Oh, yeah.
Page and everything.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I love an adventure, so I need to come to Hike Life ATL for sure. Yeah.
We gonna hold you to it now. We gonna hold you to it.
Y'all think y'all can keep up with me, though, on the hike?
Listen, I know I can. This Juke he be pulling up the rear.
Oh.
Two, don't you even do
Spikes,
that.
really?
No lies in the lounge.
No lies in the lounge. Have you ever beat me?
You just start before me, too.
Hey,
I keep the gap. We keep the time.
I'm hearing some lies in the lounge.
Listen, we got proof. We got receipts.
I just like to support some of the people in the back.
Spikes, come on now. Come on.
Yeah, man.
I definitely got to come and see this.
We gotta get back on the trail.
Yeah.
We've been slacking a little bit. We gotta get back on the trail, man.
So, and the weather's changing, so yeah, it's time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Spike, I'm shocked at you, man. Come on.
No lies in the lounge.
It was
No
early.
lies in the lounge.
It was early in the off season. I wasn't in shape yet.
He ain't stretched. He said he
Nah, he
ain't
is
stretched.
I
stretched.
ain't stretched.
Got there a little late, ain't stretched.
But now that you shared who you are behind the mask, what would you tell your younger self before the mask was even a thought process in their mind?
I would tell my younger self to relax. Everything is gonna be okay. Everything always works out. Everything always comes back to even out. It's gonna be okay. Stop worrying about things you can't control. Live in the moment. Live day by day. That's what I tell my younger self. Because we want to control everything when we're young, and we want to, it needs to be this way. Relax, little girl. Just relax.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. We appreciate your presence. We appreciate all of the insight, and keep leading, because I've been a fan from day one when you came into the city. Truly mean that. And just seeing your endeavors that you continue to do. It seems like you're popping up with something, like no lie, every 3 to 5 years, it was the ice cream. You know, now we hear about the EP just dropped.
Student of the game.
NBA 2K, student of the... Come on, man. Keep leading, though, girl.
I appreciate
Keep
y'all.
leading.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm going to see y'all behind the mask on that court. That's what we're going to do.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna just.
I'm scoring more than 1 point, though.
All right.
Ain't gonna be me though.
Ooh.
2.
Y'all just need to be on my team. We
I
just
don't
need to
want
play
him on my
5-5.
team, man. I get enough of this guy.
2, just he can just set picks.
Oh, you said good picks? That's
Yeah,
all I
he
need
said
to hit
good-
the shot.
That's
Just a
it.
little
That's
space.
I get rebounds too though.
Okay.
Other than that, man, you got it.
The round mound of fun. Barkley. Nah, man, we good.
Thank y'all so much for having me. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Woo woo.
Behind the mask.